Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is your man's six-man K-Styles. And you got your boy, the mad scientist, Mad Mike Sports, the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, Mad Mike Sports. And you are now tuned in to the Cooler Talk Monday with the terrible twosome. Now, we already know there's Monday night football going on, but we said, damn that. We're going to still give you a little something tonight. So, Mike, we got them three special words that we got to get to the people. What are those three special words?
Real broke.
And today's roll call goes into shouts out to Bubba Gump, Joseph Thornton, YMOS Jamal, shouts out to Big Ant, Robert Ponder, Pat Norris, Melvin Emery, Jonta Rozier, Darnell Partridge, Noah Tindale, a.k.a. The Professor. I make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Got some things for you. Go ahead and do your homework on. You already know that's why it's called Professor for a reason. We got Kenneth Lewis. We got Relly 1090, William Amy, Brian Peoples, Asipo Basie, D. Coleman, Etio Leo, Sherman Wood, Pamela Johnson, Ultra Shadow, Low Speed Devon. We got Alex in the building, SIO. Damn it, we still call his ass Alex.
Whatever the fuck that means. I was about to say shit out of look. I was about to say shit out of look, but they don't even go. So I don't know.
We got the Falcon therapist, aka Juan. I'm AFN. Millie Mills.
Watch out, he probably rubbing down y'all wives and girlfriends.
Would you let me rub you down? We got Rua, Tara, Thomas, Steve, Sloan, Floyd, Donnelly, Workflow, Dre, Bobby Boy, Zone 3, Low Key, Zell, Iceman, 478, Tucson, Middleton, Yusuke. We got J Rock in the building. Y'all make sure y'all go show him some love as well.
Jay Whistle,
Keyshawn Vlad, Toxic Falcons, Tell Sports and Gaming. Man, let's go ahead. We're gonna get the show started in 3, 2. All right, people, what's going on, man? Let's go ahead and get this show started. Mike, you got something interesting that you want to talk about tonight with the people. Now, the main question that I have to ask a lot of people that are tuning in and watching, is it wrong to be optimistic? Is it wrong to find positives in a bad situation? Because if a lot of people didn't see Falcon Twitter yesterday, the post-game show, despite Falcons sucking for 3 quarters yesterday, and then coming back in the fourth quarter and making it a ball game again, they still lost, but there's some takes in this game that can be carried over the next game, barring if we don't make any mistakes. So We're gonna leave that food for thought for right now. Mike, you got something you want to talk to the people?
Well, I'll just say this. As far as the optimism part goes. And I think this is more so of a society issue rather than a football issue. Like everybody trying to be hard these days. You think P. Diddy is a great label executive because he's going around telling people how bad they fucking suck? Do you think Tupac Shakur was brought to the forefront because nobody saw anything in him? Do you think that the Black Panthers, for example, were designed just off pure hate? No, they love themselves. They found something beautiful in themselves. They found something beautiful in other people of all culture and race. But the one thing I think when it comes down to it is that, yeah, you can despise mistakes. You can despise and be upset with mistakes and quote unquote bigotry. But when that negativity tends to be the center of everything, how can you grow from people constantly telling you that you are a piece of crap? Not everybody responds well to negativity. Some people respond well to positive affirmations. But when we got our people that's supposed to love you and supposed to support you constantly crapping on you every chance you get, even when you show the world that you can go one-on-one with the great ones. You just prove the whole world that you can go one-on-one with the world champions, and we're still up here talking about the Falcons suck. Marcus Mariota sucks. Arthur Smith sucks. Dean P sucks. But they just went one-on-one with the Super Bowl champions and literally almost won. But why is it weird to be optimistic? Why is that such a bad thing? You're supposed to take what a guy does bad, take what he does well, and try to feature him in a way where you can get the most out of him. So why is it such a bad thing for us to sit up and say, you know what? I see what Arthur doing here. I see what he's doing with Kyle Pitts. I see what he's doing with Mariota. That doesn't make him a failure because they lost a game. But in order to develop players, don't you have to, K-Style, don't you have to at least know what they do well and what they don't do well?
Yeah. You ain't never know what you're going to got until you play it. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why you hear the Desmond Ridder talk. Now, for a lot of people that know, that done watched this show for a good little while, knows that only a couple people in this chat, plus me, that's been on the Desmond Ridder hype train since 2020. Have anybody been watching the show that long ago? That long? Well, everybody thought Desmond Ridder was nothing. I didn't think so. But that's kind of why I think that's kind of why, like, now you're starting to see the Desmond Ritter talk. Because it's not in a faith of confidence that he's going to do any better. The issue is 2023. Some of the people have fell in love with Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and they want to rush Ritter out there because it's not on the fact that they hope that he succeeds. They don't give a damn if he succeeds. They actually, be honest with you, they'd rather him fail so they can get those quarterbacks. Now, I'm not saying this is not everybody.
You going there.
Ooh, that's not. I'm not saying this for everybody. If this doesn't pertain to you, I'm not talking to you. But it's a certain percentage of people that want to see Desmond Ritter fail. Now, if we look at these first couple games with the Falcons, (26) 27. That's 40. That's 53 points in the first two games. Out of a possible 70 points that could have been scored. We already said that before the season started that Marcus Mariota has the potential of doing something. But at the end of the day, we know he is a bridge to the next quarterback. We also have to remember this dude hasn't started meaningful games in 2 or 3 years.
So it's a
Mike brought up an interesting. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just saying. No, go ahead. I was just saying it's a learning process for him also.
Right. So are we gonna see Desmond Ritter here soon? Maybe. The only difference is going to be is with Marcus Mariota is if he continues to make the same mistakes in the same situations. This is why you have a bridge quarterback. It's to show the rookie incumbent behind him the certain mistakes and preparations that you have to make in order to succeed at that level. Instead of looking at it like this, he may be looking at it like Desmond Ritter looking like, okay, this motherfucker is turning the ball over here. Coach getting in his ass. I don't want that. So let me make sure I do this right. I think really the issue is everybody's so forward to 2023, they done threw 2022 in the garbage before the season even started. That's why I say I think the Desmond Ritter hype is fool's gold as far as what people want them to see. I really think secretly they want them to fail.
I think too. Y'all so worried about what the fuck everybody else got. Y'all so worried about, well, this team got 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Well, guess what? They've been together for 8 years. Aaron Donald been in the league 9 years. It was a process, a decade process for them to get to this point. They didn't just wake up one morning and say, all right, I'm going to be good. Bill Belichick got to fail. He got to get fired to go through this process, the winning process. Granted, we got all those asterisks, but, at the end of the day, he's still a good coach. But you had to go through certain things to even get to the point where it's like, all right, my teams are consistent. They just crapped on one of the teams that they thought was going to be a big, a Super Bowl contender in Pittsburgh. Just whooped them. So it's a process for everything. Usually that process is losing. So we sit up here and try to act like the Braves right now or the Braves the Braves 5 years ago. No. We had like 3 guys with over 200 strikeouts. And I'm talking about 3 guys on the same team with over 200 strikeouts.
Technically, I think I remember it was 4.
4.
It was 4. It was our entire outfield and Evan Gaddis. Them Braves fans don't want to remember them days.
So we hit a lot of home runs, but we struck out a heck of a lot. So
led the league in strikeouts 3 years in a row.
3 years in a freaking row. Yeah. So there's a lot of bad days for those Braves to get to this point where we had to figure out, all right, what's the type of hitter that we want? What's the type of pitcher that we want? Because our stadium is this and our opponents in our division is this. This is what they're doing. So how can we get the best of our own division before we started to branch out to the Rams? And we're seeing that. All of this, look, we sit up here talking about players, but nobody is focused on the fact that the Falcons literally, and I want to make this clear, the Falcons literally scared the living shit out of the Super Bowl contenders. The look on Aaron Donald's face on the sideline, he was like, bro, what's going on? And we talking about Daniels here, okay? And he was in his feelings like, damn, they running the ball through us. The only difference between this game and last game, Mariota didn't have 170. He didn't have 70 yards rush. It's the only difference. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at all that. That was the only difference. They did a good job of containing Marcus Mariota so he couldn't get those extra yards. That's the only difference. In this game and the Saints game, it comes down to those small edge details that we always teach. Setting the edge, not fumbling the ball, not committing turnovers, and capitalizing on your red zone opportunities. And if I'm not mistaken, let me look at these numbers real quick. But the Rams were in the red zone. They were 3 for no, they weren't 3 for 3. They were 4 for 5, and we were 2 and 4. 2 touchdowns. They got 3 touchdowns. We only got 2. I mean, I'm not fucking Albert Einstein, but I know 3 is more than 2.
75% is better than 50%, motherfucker.
Right. like I said, I'm not the smartest when it comes down, but when you get in the red zone 5 times and you commit like 4, you get 4 out of 5, and we get 2 out of 4. Sometimes it's just that simple. We overanalyze every damn thing, and I blame all these goofy ass Twitter statisticians or whatever the hell they want to call themselves, overanalyzing every little number and detail when it comes down to simple things, scoring in the damn red zone, not making mistakes, not getting penalties. With the Falcons, they were a lot less penalized in this game. They only had 5 penalties in this game, but there was an improvement. But those penalties were costly and at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
So we overanalyze a lot of things. People saying like the Falcons, last game they had, like I said, they had 8 penalties. This week we had 5. That's an improvement.
Yeah, man. Over here, we finna quote a new phrase. We are no longer gonna be saying they gotta play for 60 minutes.
Chased out. Ooh.
You know what the new phrase is gonna be?
What's that?
We got to play for $1. Play for $1. That's all we're going to say. $1. I know most people going to already get that. I want to see who ain't going to get that.
Right.
Falcons got to play for $1. There you go. There you go. People already getting into it. There you go.
Do they know?
Michael caught it. 4 quarters. You got to play for $1. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, hold on. Look. You see this? 4 quarters, baby. You got to pay for $1.
4 quarters.
Exactly. But I want to get into another talking point on this as well as what we're kind of talking about. But before we do that, you got to make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button, man. We got 119 people in here. You got to make sure you hit that like button. So, we're going to play a little bit of music here for y'all. Hold on. Noah's in here, so let me see. Is this the one? There you go. Give him a little PTSD right quick. But y'all need to go ahead and hit that like button. Got 117 people in here. We got to get at least 60 people to like this damn thing. At least 60.
At least.
Hey. Yeah, draft jams right there, draft jams. But yeah. So the question right now is why y'all hitting that like button. The question is going to be: Is Kyle Pitts? Are you upset that Kyle Pitts isn't putting up the numbers like you was hoping? So, Mike, go ahead and get that like check going on right quick, man. Go and get that like check. I don't know why this shirt look like I'm on that episode of Martin with the damn
with the
dog and shit. But Cole, sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
We had 53.
53, man. We gotta get 7 more people.
7 more. That's all. There's 7 more likes.
Oh man.
Damn, well, y'all just real stingy today. Y'all don't want to give us a 7? Like, come on, man. 3 more. Man. 3 more people. 3 more. Damn.
3 more people.
3 more. That's it.
Come on, man. I gotta come
Stop
through in the phone.
Sandwich. Stop eating and searching on Amazon.
Come on, it's free now.
2 more. 2. That's it. 2, because I know y'all want to hit this Kyle Pitts. You gonna hear my voice about this, and y'all not gonna. A lot of people not gonna like.
I might get a Mad Mike rant tonight, so y'all might well hit that like button.
Y'all
might get a Mad Mike rant tonight.
Y'all not gonna like that.
Oh, we about to hit
there
the
we
rant.
Go. All right, there we go.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Okay, definitely appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like
y'all got us out here begging like homeless men.
Exactly.
Here. Come on, man.
Exactly. Now, the more popular talking point right now, as far as what we're saying is people are feeling like Kyle Pitts isn't is not putting up the numbers a lot of people are expecting, especially coming from a rookie of the year guy like that. Right now, he has 4 receptions for 38 yards, well, 39, one of those. Now, the popular narrative is that Arthur Smith is trying to X him out the offense. Mike, I want to hear your take on this, man, because like I said, you go ahead and get yours out. I got something to say on this too.
Well, being that I know where you're going with it, I'm gonna make it as brief as I possibly can. I got a major problem with this, and I don't have a problem with it when it comes down to players or fans, I should say. I got a huge problem when it comes down to players and people that know better. I got a major issue with that because you played the game. Most of you guys know that this is a team. This is probably the ultimate team sport where the center, the guard, the left guard, right tackle, left guards, like everything works together. The play calling, everything comes together and works together to create, a great team. You can't have a dominant offense and a lackluster defense, as we all know. We know that. But the issue that I have is that we have players that are going out their way saying the most ignorant crap when themselves have been X'd out of games because certain teams decided we will not let you win. Whether it's the Super Bowl, playoff games, or just regular season games where we seen Bill Belichick said, everybody else going, look, I'll let, Calvin really beat me before Julio. Julio is not beating me today. The Saints, we've seen the Saints do the same thing to Julio Jones, where he had one catch in an entire game. And you guys, let me ask you, do anybody remember the game 2016 when we won, when we played the New Orleans Saints? So if you guys don't remember 2016,
wasn't that the game he only had like one reception?
Yes, sir. One reception. But you remember the score of that game?
It was scored like 45 points or some shit like that.
Exactly. We scored 45 points with Julio Jones catching one pass. Are we up here worried about Kyle Pitts? We literally just had this with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Yeah, he getting 1,600 yards a year, 14 to 600 a year. And then Matt Ryan, he's automatic 4,000 yards. But guess what? The offensive line still sucks. Up and down. The running game is non-existent. The defense can't do any damn thing right. But we up here worried about whether or not Kyle Pitts gets, 10 catches in the game? Do you guys am I the only person that watched the Rams game? Because I'm just throwing it out there, but how many catches did your boy Cooper Kupp have in the first? I want to know.
I think the first quarter he had 0 catches. The second and third quarter he combined for 10 catches, and I think he had 3 in the fourth quarter.
Exactly the point. Just because your key guy isn't getting targeted doesn't mean he doesn't have an impact on the game. That's the point. You can have an impact on the game and not get one ball thrown to you. Did anybody go back to look at that Drake London touchdown and see who cleared out for Drake London? Did anybody just? I'm taking a wild guess. Did anybody see who cleared it out?
Hold on. Let me think about that for a second. Okay. It was a single digit number guy, right?
I believe so.
Drake London caught the touchdown, so he doesn't count. Oh yeah, it was Mr. Kyle Pitts.
Oh, right? You don't say. You don't say. You sure, K-Styles? You sure about that?
I'm sure. Can I say something right quick? Can I say something right quick?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, let me use this analogy right quick. Let's use the Lakers for example. The Lakers are the early 2000s, the Kobe Shaq Lakers. Yes, you had two of the most dominant players of that era. But everybody forget how much of an important role that Derek Fisher played on that team. Yes, Derek Fisher didn't have all the numbers like that. But he was a calming force on that court as a leader. Now, when we look at Kyle Pitts, the touchdowns, we're not seeing him in the getting touchdowns. Like I said, that's one of the things where a lot of people are kind of disappointed in, and they looking at the hype coming into this season, like, oh yeah, Kyle Pitts gonna break out. We're gonna get about 1,500 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns this year. But you forget this offense don't necessarily have 1,000 yards tight ends like that. Kyle Pitts was one of the major ones that Arthur Smith has dealt with as a play caller. They got 1,000 yards. As a football player, a lot of times the biggest impact you make is not going to show up on the box score. Are we going to forget the pass interference call Kyle Pitts caused down the sideline? Of course, they didn't. I'm trying to remember, did they capitalize on that? But he got the pass interference down the sideline.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got the touchdown to Drake London. They said Drake London was the first rookie since Stephon Diggs to have 5 receptions for 70-plus yards in his first 2 games.
Think about that. There's a lot of things to be looking forward to rather than just getting Kyle Pitts numbers. We're actually developing guys. Right. Drake London is getting in the fold of things offensively. He understands what his role is now.
Did you want to talk about that clear out route he got where Cordero Hodges went off yesterday?
Yeah.
Got a couple big plays.
Yeah. Let's talk about that one too. But you got guys like Matthew Berry up here saying, well, you drafted him the number 4 overall to be a blocker. I mean, if it wasn't for, look, how many times have we seen on special teams guys like Eric Weems get sprung loose because he made a great block?
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Devin Hester get sprung loose. Why? Because they made a great block on special teams. This is football.
Right.
The small details matter.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things we talk about when you look at these guys who are are so intelligent, they're freaking stupid.
Right.
And this is one of the reasons why DraftKings is absolutely one of the worst things that ever happened to sports. And we know one of the reasons why, because one of our players ain't here because of the bull crap. Because they're gonna put guys on the spotlight because he didn't get them enough fantasy points. Because they put up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a player that didn't get targeted. So that's the real reason why they mad. Let's just keep it real. They don't care nothing about our development of our players. They're worried about whether or not this guy gonna get 4,000 yards or 5,000 a year. That's what they worried about.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, wasn't at this point last year where Kyle Pitts was considered a bust because he had like 8 receptions for like 103 yards?
Yep, same. It was the same. It was around the same time. As a matter of fact, let me confirm that.
Right. Because we have to look at Kyle Pitts in a certain light here. You have a quarterback that's not going to force the issue and give him the ball whenever he's open. Because a lot of times when you throwing against that bracket coverage, you already have a quarterback that's kind of hesitant on getting the ball to certain guys. Why would you want to force him the ball to Kyle Pitts and make a bad play? We saw Marcus Mariota overthrow Drake London 3 times on that last drive. Inaccurate as hell. Instead of looking at it as it's disappointing that Kyle Pitts ain't getting the ball, maybe we need to look at the fact that they're trying to set it up so Kyle Pitts can get the ball more later.
Exactly.
Why the hell you think last year Kyle Pitts went back-to-back games had combined over 260 yards in back-to-back games? Almost 300. Because defenses know Kyle Pitts is the biggest threat on the field as far as the Falcons' offense. Let's be real. He's the biggest threat on his offense. So they're going to put the attention on him, which opens it up for everybody. Like you said, you saw Drake London catching passes yesterday. You saw Kadero Hodge. Brian Edwards, I haven't seen him at all yet, but
right.
it opens up a lot. And then what happens is now that they know that, okay, you're taking away this guy, but they're going to kill you with this guy. Now that coverage on Kyle Pitts starting to soften up. And now Kyle Pitts becomes that superstar. There's an interesting stat that came with Julio Jones that I don't think anybody really ever paid attention to. This is going to be kind of like a throwback part of this. Did you know when Julio Jones was a Falcon, the Falcons made the playoffs when he had less than 150 targets? Outside of that 1 year And the last couple years when he got hurt, if he had more than 150, they never made the playoffs. The issue is you don't force it to the guy. You have to let it develop. Kyle Pitts gonna eat. He is going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of blaming Arthur Smith, Mike, I'm gonna let you go in there. I'm gonna let you go into that part. I'm gonna let you finish that. So people are blaming Arthur Smith for this. Like I said, former players doing this as well. Like I said, somebody said it up there. Brian Fennerin said something. Jamal Anderson said something about lack of creativity for Kyle Pitts. From a lot of route concepts I saw some creativity. The problem is Kyle Pitts is not, Arthur Smith is not throwing Kyle Pitts the ball. Arthur Smith is not playing defense on Kyle Pitts. At the end of the day, it comes down to the defense that's being played on him and the quarterback decision to throw him the ball. Go ahead, Mike.
This is where my frustration for players kicks in. This is why I have to question you and your knowledge. Or are you just being emotional? Because a lot of former players, they so emotionally attached to the game, even when they see it, they still can't decipher from being a player, being a fan. Like I said, I get it. You have that attachment to the game, but what you're saying is absolute bull crap. The reason why I say it's bull crap, because the proof is in the pudding. Why is the play action pass is such a great thing? Anybody want to take a guess? Because especially for the Falcons in 1998, the play action pass was something that they used over and over and time again. The Baltimore Ravens in 2000, the play action pass was something that they used time and time again. It's because teams would key on you, Jamal Anderson. Teams would key on Jamal Lewis. So you would give the illusion that you were going to hand the ball off. Teams would get soaked up and they would throw the ball to Shannon Sharp. You get where I'm going with this, people? So this is the reason why Brian Finnery needs to shut the fuck up. Because he played what the greatest running quarterback of all time. He wasn't a great route runner. He was 200, 6'4", 6'3", 200 pounds. Wasn't a great wide receiver at all. He had issues catching the ball consistently. But all of that happened because of the DVD. Anybody want to take a wild guess what the DVD is?
I have no idea what the hell the DVD was, man. Could you elaborate on what the DVD was? Because all I can think about is the DVDs that we buy at Walmart for the $5 bin.
Okay, see, I gotta enlighten you. Okay, the DVD was done. Okay. Vic and Duckett. So if those guys weren't there, what Brian Finneran even have a voice in Atlanta sports and Georgia sports? I'm making you think, people. Are we making you think? So those aspects of the game opens up other things for other guys. That's why Algie Crumpler was as difficult a target as he was, because the running game soaked up so much attention. He would leak out, and he would be wide open in the middle of the field a lot of times. So go ahead.
So what you're telling me is that you have to run the ball. What?
We gotta run the
damn ball. And we're not even talking about Tyler Algier. That's the most disappointing part. Ain't nobody talking about how Tyler Algier did. I know he, like you said, it doesn't look pretty, but we ain't talking about how he like to get north and south. The only thing we talking about is why Kyle Pitts not getting the ball. Trust me, I want to see Kyle Pitts get the ball. But it's kind of funny that we talking about this and we literally heard Mark Sanchez say in the goddamn commentary was take what the defense gives you. So if the defense is not giving you Kyle Pitts, you take the next best option.
When you keyed on Jamal Anderson, you had Terrence Mathis and Tony Martin right there to help open things up. This is why you have other positions.
Right.
So that's why I be so upset when players say stupid stuff like I said, I'm gonna just say this. A lot of players a lot of people just say things because they're highly emotional in the moment. And I get it. We all fans. But you gotta think, man. Don't come on. Why is Kyle Pitts not getting? That's such a bland statement. I can throw 3 screens in a row to Kyle Pitts and get him 3 receptions. Well, what did that accomplish if we getting 0 yards out of it? We've seen it before. Kyle Shanahan was so upset in his feelings because we wasn't getting right at the ball. He called 4 plays in a row to get right at the ball and then do nothing the rest of the game. He got his 4 receptions, but what did that do for us?
And Brian Peoples here said, Terrell Davis opened it up for Sharp and Ron Smith. You forgot one name out of that damn bunch, too. Old Ed McCaffrey.
Your daddy. Stop not my daddy.
Daddy McCaffrey. So, I'm not worried about it. Like you said, superstar tight end. If you notice, a lot of the damn superstar tight ends are getting hurt right now. Yeah, I noticed that now, dude. George Kittle ain't been healthy in 3 years. 49er fans already complain about that. Shanahan.
Shanahan man, come on.
Shanahan is notorious for breaking players down. And that motherfucker is nowhere near a quarterback guru where the only successful quarterback he done had has been these last 2 quarterbacks for consecutive years. He only got 1 MVP quarterback. Let's just say that's all that need to be said right there.
Right. A lot of these players get worn down, man, and beaten down. Then the last thing that you want to do is with a guy like Kyle Pitts, just force feed him, and that's the exact same thing that got
Julio Jones. That's
Julio Jones.
a lot of people don't realize that's where Julio Jones started breaking down. As soon as Kyle Shanahan got here, Julio started breaking down. That's where the 2 yards and I'm gonna go sit my ass down for 2 plays. Julio started showing up.
Yep.
We don't want to talk about that though.
It was good for our fantasy league because he won us a lot of money.
Julio Jones in an Atlanta Falcon uniform was supposed to be the deep threat. The deep threat. Once they took his deep threat ability away and made him into the tight end, the Kyle Pitts role, as we like to say, the flanker position, Julio started breaking down. Dude got targeted 2014 and 15. He got targeted over 330 times. 2018 and 2019, he got targeted 320 times. That's all I gotta say on that, man. That's all I gotta say, man. So be patient with Kyle Pitts.
Be patient.
Like
That's what I was
it's
about
all
to say.
like I said, it's not really all up to Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is actually not calling bad. He's making some questionable calls, but it ain't like it's like, okay, he's making questionable calls 60-70% of the time.
I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot about that point. And that's another thing that I wanted to speak on real quick is whether or not his play calling is suspect. Well, we say it all the time. And this is something that we focus on during the game, look at every aspect of the game. And I know a lot of people is like, all right, he's not very creative. I mean, how creative is a dig route and a seam route?
90% of NFL teams run dig routes, seam routes.
I'm just saying, it's really not that difficult to understand, people. You drawing up the same. It's only so many routes that you can run. So it's not a lack of creativity. Goes back to this little thing that we like to call execution.
You got to execute plays. And that's been the Falcons' major Achilles heel so far this year is execution. Hold on. Let me do it. Execution.
Right.
What does execution means? No turnovers. Disciplined football. Not falling on your face. Dropping passes. That's not executing. What he's doing right now is he's trying to preserve all his playmakers to play an entire 16, 17 game season. You don't always have to force it to the best player.
Sometimes your quarterback not comfortable throwing to the best player or what he's seen. Like, as a person that actually played the quarterback position, you got to trust what you see. I got to know and understand, all right, what I'm saying is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You got to trust to be able, like, you got to be able to trust what you're saying. If I can't trust what I'm saying, If I can't trust that I can make this throw, or trust that I can make that, get to the corner to get there first, then 9 times out of 10 there's going to be that hesitation.
So my bad. I'm kind of drawing. I'm. It's like I got like 4 different thoughts going in my head. Like 4 different sentences. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to use. I'm trying to figure out which ammunition I want to use on this. So, what you're telling me, Mike, Arthur Smith is really not the problem that they're looking at. The problem is the hesitancy of Marcus Mariota in certain situations. Because if we're talking about execution, it goes for all 11. I'm gonna take that back. I'm not gonna just put it on Mariota. All 11 guys on that offense have to execute.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have false starts in the red zone and knock you out of field goal range. You can't make a big play and then it gets called back for a hold call. These are the plays nobody talks about that is damaging to your team. And Coach Unchained, shout out to Coach here. He said he calls the plays, but the quarterback makes the decision. Yes. You can call the greatest play in the world. It doesn't mean that the defense you think the defense is going to play that defense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a tongue twister right there. Let me see if I can say that again. Just because you call the best, the most prettiest, perfect play in the playbook, it doesn't guarantee that the defense is going to run the defensive concept you think the defense is going to run.
Just saying.
So a lot of times when you're running these concepts on offense, you have to have 3 levels of passing. You have to have a short, medium, long routes because you need 3 different options. Kyle Pitts is the deep threat on this team. If they're taking away Kyle Pitts, Drake London eats. Cordero Patterson eats. This is your show, and I'm sitting here teaching these folks. This is crazy.
Hell no. This is, hey man, look, this is ours.
Yeah. Shit. If Kyle Pitts ain't on this team, let me ask y'all a question. Let me go and throw some more music on here. So this is gonna be our question for the night that I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna spare Noah this one. So we're gonna get back to this. So the question tonight is, and I think I've asked this before, but we're going to ask this again because it goes well into this conversation. With the expectation of Kyle Pitts and looking at the 2021 season, do you think Cordero Patterson had the same success without Kyle Pitts? Cordero Patterson dropped a very key pass that led to an interception in this game too. So he gets some blame as well on that offense.
Execution.
I see a bunch of no's and hell no's. Guess what, people? The Bengals are 0-2. They got Jamar Chase.
You ain't the most unstoppable offense of all time? Wow.
Devon, the question was, is Cordero Patterson really that guy without Kyle Pitts on the field?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
No, what I mean by is the big. I ain't gonna say. Let me rephrase that. Do you think? Because you gotta remember, Cordero Patterson making the big impact as far as him being like that major ass
threat, yeah.
Without Kyle Pitts on the field. Because let me ask y'all a question: how come he wasn't doing that anywhere else?
That's a question for your eyes.
Why did it take for CP to come to Atlanta in order for him to get this newfound authority?
Just saying.
Go up off the music. Let's see some of these questions. Though. I'm gonna see some of these questions. That CP never had, so this is all new to him. Okay, now I'm gonna gotta see CP breaks it. Okay, Tev here says no because when Pitts went out in that Bills game, CP got all the attention and couldn't really do anything.
Just saying. Many aspects to the game and just catches and touchdowns.
Look, Mike said, is this the first place he started? This is the first place that he's had significant time at running back.
Yeah.
And Alex, just because you say that, I'm finna put the music back on. Don't nobody diss my music.
Yep.
Don't nobody diss my music around here. I'm just gonna put it here just to annoy your ass. Coming up here talking about my ears.
See, you might be a little bit too young to understand the significance of this type of slow music.
Exactly. You don't always have to come with the upbeat, fast tempo.
Mm-hmm.
When you get older, you gotta slow it down.
Slow it down.
You don't want to be busting your girl down fast, then you're not going to enjoy the experience.
Absolutely.
You got to slow it down. Take in every moment. Because your girl wants you to embrace every moment. You don't want to be done in 2 minutes. You want to at least make it last 15. I'm old. I ain't got an hour like that. No
I ain't got an hour,
more.
bro.
I get you 15. I'm good.
You doing 15, 20. Yeah.
15, 20. I'm good. So while we play this music, we serenade the masses with the knowledge of the Atlanta Falcons and give everybody an opportunity to give their thoughts in a very calm and smoothing environment. This is why we play this music. We're not finna play no Lil Baby or no Tekashi 6ix9ine over here. We don't do that over here. If we want to play snitching music, we do that.
Wow, he just went there. This man really went there.
So if you don't like it, you can mute your TV. You can mute it, or you can get the fuck on. Because at the end of the day, this is part of our show. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end the show now. Because I want to.
Yeah.
So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and tune in to the 6-Man Convo tomorrow. And as we always say here, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the hell out of here.
Deuces. And one more thing. If you don't like it, just mute it and put the closed caption on. Deuces.
I love it.
I don't give a fuck what these folks think. I love this. All right, people. Deuces.